Okay, so all the recording will be shared after the lecture. Okay, every whenever we finish with our lecture, the recording will be automatically shared on the group. Okay, so you can download it from there. Okay, now let's start with the Aura and LWC session. So first we will going to start with the Aura session. Okay. In, so I am a partner with this SoftTech Solutions. Okay, me and Mahesh. You must be knowing Mahesh, right? So okay,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So let me. So little brief about me. My name is Sandeep Kadam. I have total overall 4.3 years of experience in Salesforce, and I am 2x certified in admin as well as in platform developer one. Okay, and I have completed 100 plus batches. Okay, I have achieved that ranger rank, and I will also you should also complete at least 100 batches. Okay, so your profile will be highlighted on your resume. Okay, so you can mention that I have completed this much of batches, right? Do super batches. Okay, so through that you will means your profile will be stand out from others, right? And this is my LinkedIn profile. If you want, you can go here. Okay, so now let's talk about introduction about Salesforce Lightning or Aura, you can say. Okay, some people call it as Aura, some people call it as Lightning. Okay, so what is the difference? Lightning or a component, it is same or it is different? Okay, how we can differentiate between those two? So all these things we are going to see in our Aura lectures. Okay, so our first 2 or 3 lectures will be a little bit theoretical and setup based. Okay, means setuping the VS code. Okay, that thing we are going to see here, and after that we will going to start with the actual code. Okay, so before learning anything we should know why we are learning that. Okay, so first of all, what is Salesforce Lightning? Okay, Salesforce Lightning is nothing but the modern programming language developed by Salesforce. Okay, so earlier Salesforce people was using VS Code. Okay, VS Code was sorry, VS not VS Code, Visual Force. Okay, web page you can say. So you must have seen that Salesforce browser. Okay, if you go to the UI, let me log in with the Salesforce UI. Okay. Okay, let's say this is a Salesforce UI. Okay, developer edition org. Okay, you can see if you go to setup. Okay, not setup, this profile icon you can see, and here is one option that is switch to Lightning. Okay, if I click over that, click on that, you can see the UI is drastically changes. Okay, it is a bit old UI you can say. Okay, you can see these are all the things developed in Visual Force. Okay, everything here is a Visual Force, developed in Visual Force only. Okay, and nowadays Visual Force not used as that. Instead of that, LWC is currently used by new projects. Okay, if you are assigned on a means old project, then you will come across this Visual Force and Aura is there. Okay, so now you can see these are the tabs. Okay, these are the UI. Okay, you can see. Now let me go back to this Lightning experience. Okay, so Lightning experience is nothing but these all are developed in the Aura. Okay, you can see all the component are different and little bit, this looks a little bit modern you can say. Okay, very much modern you can say, list views, buttons, right? So what is the difference between the Visual Force and this? Okay, we are going to see that. Okay, so why use Aura component programming model? So if you use Visual Force, okay, you can't reuse that. Okay, let's say here this is one component, you can see this is the header component or title you can say. This is called as lightning card actually, we will see that. Okay, so this same component I can reuse for multiple object, you can say, in the account. The same component is just the icon is different. You can see the icon is changed here. Okay, the title is changed here, title and this view. Okay, and some buttons are changed. Okay, but the component is same. Okay, this same component is used in every object. So this is called reusable part of this aura. Okay, so through this we can develop one component and we can reuse that in for multiple object or multiple pages. Okay, you can say multiple applications we can use that. So that is not possible with the web pages. Okay, so that's where we get the advantage of reusability of aura components. Okay, the same goes with the LWC also. So in LWC also we can reuse. Okay, reuse the component, small component. Okay, so aura component basically nothing but a component based framework. Component based framework means what? Whenever you design any application, okay, it will consist of small modules. Okay, so let's say this is the header module. Okay, one module. This is second module, list view. Okay, you can, this is a quick action module. Okay, so this kind of a thing you can develop and integrate into a one application. So that's where you use aura. Okay, by using multiple component to create one single application. Okay, in real time you will only work on this concept only. Okay, one application will be there and you have to just develop a small component in that. Okay, you don't have to develop a whole application. Okay, so like that. So what is then aura component? As I have mentioned, right? And we have events in aura. We will see in depth what are events. Okay, events are nothing but means if you want to communicate. Let's say one component let's say, let me go to any account. Okay, and let's say I have one related contact associated with one account. Okay, so I want to trigger one event. Event means what? To communicate anything. Okay, I want to send some message from one component to another. Okay, so through events we can communicate with other components. Okay, so let's say detail page is there. Whenever let's say I change this rating, okay, to warm, to hot or cold, you can say anything, the related contact should update something here. Let's say should update some date. Okay, that the on this date the account was updated. Okay, so how we can achieve that? We can achieve that through trigger also. Okay, through trigger we can handle that, but we can also use that in our aura. Means in aura, whenever we change this, we will trigger one event. Okay, let's say component event. There are two types of event: component event, application event. Okay, so let's say I have triggered component event and it will going to trigger the information in that, and this component will receive the event. Okay, receive the message that this account has been updated. So this is just a small example. We will see in detail what are event. Okay, how to use event. Okay, browser support. So mostly all of the browsers, latest browser are supported by the aura. Okay, so no issues in that. And my domain. Okay, so what is my domain here? Okay, so earlier what happens is in earlier Salesforce releases. Okay, whenever you create any org, okay, let me go to setup. Okay, to use lightning component you have to first enable your my domain setup. Okay, so let me go to my domain from setup domain. Okay, so in company setting you will find this option my domain. Okay, if you go over this, okay, so currently by default it is set up for us. In if you create a Salesforce developer edition org now, so it will by default enabled. Okay, but in earlier versions of Salesforce we have to manually enable this. Okay, so my domain is nothing but you have to set your custom unique domain. Okay, so that your org will be uniquely identified. Okay, just nothing but this only. Okay, okay, so now developer console. Okay, so this is the main part. You must have know about this developer console in Apex. You must have used this developer console. Okay, we will going to use that for log purpose. Okay, means logging the component information. Okay, so here I have explained in detail. Okay, notes you can see. Lightning includes Lightning component framework. So Lightning component framework is nothing but it is based on Aura framework. So Aura framework is developed by Salesforce. It is an open framework, open source framework. Okay, based on that only Lightning component is developed. Okay, So whenever anyone asks you that what is the difference between aura component and lightning component, so you can say aura is a open source framework developed by Salesforce, and lightning component is based on the aura framework. Okay. Now, why use lightning then instead of that VF pages? Why should we have VF page? Then why should we go for lightning? Okay, because lightning improves your app performance. So how lightning will going to improve our app performance? Okay, so I will explain that with a small example. Okay, let me go back to classic mode. Okay. Okay, you can see whenever in lightning in classic, whenever I click on any tab, okay, it always hit the sockle query in the background. Okay, it always hit the query. Okay, due to that the performance is little bit slow, you can say, in classic, where the web page is used. Okay, why? Because let's say if I have, you can say, let's say I have 10,000 of records. Okay, and I have clicked on that. Okay, it will take some time to show, but whenever I click on the tab, it is always going to fetch that those record 10,000 record. But whenever you go to lightning, okay, so lightning does not work in that way. Okay, so let's say I have 10,000 account. Okay, so here in first time it will take some time to load that, but whenever let's say I have gone to the this contact component, and again I am getting back to the account tab, so at this second time it is not going to load that 10,000 records. Okay, why? Because it is stored in some cache. Okay, so based on cache it will retrieve that. So based on that your records will be, your page will be loaded fast. Okay, this is just a small example that how lightning experience is fast or performance is higher than VF page. This is small example you can give in your interviews. Why should we use lightning instead of VF page? Okay, so you can explain this by using this example, small example. Okay, so let me
सर
also know.
सर ऑरा कंपोनेंट और लाइटनिंग कंपोनेंट का डिफरेंस जो आपने बताया था वो एक बार फिर से बताइए.
Okay, let me repeat it. Okay, sure. और अगर बीच में मैं फास्ट भी जाता हूँ, सो एनी वन कैन म्यूट. ओके, और बता दो मैं स्लो है या फास्ट है, कुछ पता नहीं चल रहा है. ओके, एट दैट पॉइंट आई कैन रिपीट इट. ओके, सो अकाउंट. ओके, सो बेसिकली अकाउंट में क्या होता है, लेट से मेरे पास 10,000 रिकॉर्ड्स है. ठीक है, लेट मैं गो बैक टू दिस क्लासिक मोड. ओके, सो क्लासिक मोड में क्या होता है, लेट से मेरे पास 10,000 रिकॉर्ड्स है अकाउंट में. लेट से ओके, 10,000 रिकॉर्ड्स. वेन एवर आई क्लिक ऑन दिस अकाउंट, वो हर बार बैकएंड में क्वेरी फायर करेगा, हर बार. ओके, लेट से मैं इधर क्लिक कर रहा हूँ, इधर क्लिक कर रहा हूँ, तो जहाँ जहाँ पे हर एक क्लिक पे क्वेरी फायर होगी मेरे, हर एक क्लिक पे. ठीक है, बट लाइटनिंग में ऐसा नहीं होता है. लाइटनिंग में हर एक क्लिक पे तुम्हारी क्वेरी फायर नहीं होगी बैकएंड पे. ओके, ये फर्स्ट टाइम जब तुम, लेट से फर्स्ट टाइम मैंने कॉन्टैक्ट पे क्लिक किया. ओके, सो फर्स्ट टाइम बस ये टाइम लेगा लोड होने के लिए रिकॉर्ड. ओके, सेकेंड टाइम पे लेट से मैं फाइल पे गया, फाइल टैब पे, अगेन आई केम बैक टू कॉन्टैक्ट्स. ओके, एट दैट टाइम इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू फायर द क्वेरी एट द बैक एंड. ओके, क्यों? क्योंकि यहाँ पे एक मैकेनिज्म है, कैचे का कॉन्सेप्ट रहता है ऑरा में, राइट? सो थ्रू दैट ये सम पार्ट ऑफ द डेटा इज स्टोर्ड इन द कैचे. ओके, so whenever you access that in second time, it will check if the same data is available in my cache or not. If it is available, it is fetch that, it will fetch that data from the cache. Okay, instead of the querying the data from the backend. If latest data is not present in the cache, then it is going to fire the query. Okay, so this way your performance will be improved. Okay, as compared to this web pages. Okay, so this is one of the small example, but we will going to see in detail. Okay, means how this performance is increased. Okay, we are going to compare both of them. Okay, okay. So this is one of the example, and as I told you earlier, we can develop reusable component using this lightning aura component. Okay, reusability means nothing but this.
सर
Yes.
सर अभी ऑरा कंपोनेंट और
हम्म,
लाइटनिंग कंपोनेंट इसमें
हम्म.
थोड़ा डिफरेंस है, दोनों एक ही नहीं है.
हाँ, दोनों एक ही नहीं है ना, मैंने कब बोला सेम है?
सर तो फिर आपने एक स्टार्टिंग में एक डिफरेंस बताया था ऑरा कंपोनेंट और लाइटनिंग कंपोनेंट का, वो डिफरेंस
हम्म वो डिफरेंस क्या, वॉइस शायद से कट गया है। हेलो, आई एम ऑडिबल राइट?
Yes, sir, audible.
I guess Varsha's voice is not there. Okay. Actually, we will see all in detail. Okay, this is just a demo session. Okay, on that we will going to see in detail, means how Aura component works. Okay, lightning component, how this lightning component is based on Aura component, right? So we will all see in detail. This is just a basic overview. Okay, why we are using Aura. Okay, so that thing. Okay. Mhm. So reusable. Reusable means what? You can reuse that same component in another application or another tab, you can say. Okay, let's say, okay, I have developed this header component. Okay, let's simple example I am taking. Let's say this header component I have developed, and I want to use the same header component but with different object. Let's say dashboard, or let's say leads. Okay, but I want also it to be configurable. Configurable means what? I don't have to modify my code. Without modifying my code, I should be able to configure my component. So this is where the advantage came in Aura. Okay, in VF page you can't configure those things. Okay, but in Aura, your Salesforce, if Salesforce admin is there in a team, so he can itself configure these things. Okay, let's say I want to put my component on the lead. It is present, already present in the contact, but whenever I place that on this lead, I want to change the symbol. Let's say icon, I want to change the icon, I want to change the object name here, I want to change these buttons. Okay, so that things are configurable. Okay, and it can be configured by Salesforce admin. Okay, you just have to develop that. Okay, whenever you are going to develop Aura component, at that time you just have to configure those things in your Aura component. Okay, so we are going to see is how you can add those configuration which is configurable by Salesforce admin people. Okay, so this is a small example of how it can be reused. Okay, and Salesforce people, how they will configure this. Okay, if we add, let's say we have added some configuration, how will they going to add this configuration? Okay, so let's say let's go to any lead. Okay, this is a lead, let's say. Okay, here is one option called edit page. Okay, so whenever you click on this, going through this gear icon and go to edit page. Okay, this this is known as the app builder. Okay, here you can configure your pages, your components, okay, in one go. So this is mostly used by the admin people. Okay, because they are responsible for configuration of these things. Okay, so you can see here are multiple components. Okay, you can see the border is highlighted, means this is another component, this is another component. Okay, this is another component. Okay, here is the main component, this is the tab, and inside that sub tabs are given. Okay, if I click on detail, another component is loaded, this is another component. Okay, so here these are some standard component which you can drag and drop and directly reuse those. Okay, here you can see visual force also. Okay, so through here you can add your visual force page in here. Okay, so you can see multiple standard component are available, but we are not interested in that. Okay, because while developing Aura, why Aura is we are using Aura for customization, which is not readily available for us, right? So whenever you develop any custom component, okay, that will be visible here. Okay, currently there are no custom component developed, so this is showing no custom component available. Okay, so in our lectures we are going to start developing the Aura, like Aura components. Okay, which will be visible here, and then we just have to drag and drop here. Okay, how you can drag and drop like this. Let's say this is a component, just drag and drop. Okay, let's say like this. Okay, you can see the component is a drag and drop, and you just have to save here and go back. Okay, this way the configuration can be made by Salesforce admin. Okay, Let's go back. Okay, so this is how the admin configures this page layouts. Okay, everything else. Okay, now let's go back. Here I have mentioned, okay, how they configure. Okay, so let's check to next page. Okay, so why use lightning component programming model based on aura framework? Okay, so lightning component uses aura framework, you can say, based on aura framework. Okay, so why we are using a lightning component? So we have out of the box components available for us readily. Okay, out of the box component means what? Okay, let me show you that. Go here, Salesforce, lightning, let's say input. So this is the component library for aura. Okay, so you can see here aura components. Okay, lightning, inside there are various packages. Okay, lightning packages there, aura, these are the various packages. Okay, so these are readily available component for us. Okay, we don't need to write by our own code. Okay, we don't need to write by explicitly. Let's say, is anyone on mute? Unmute. Hello. Okay, while class is going on, please stay on unmute unless it is necessary if you want to clear your doubt or anything. Okay, out of the box components means what? Okay, if you go to, if you have worked on HTML. Okay, let's say you have to develop one input like this. Okay, let's say text input. Okay, normal input. So you will go in the input. Okay, input tag you will place. Okay, write some input text. Okay, so this kind of thing you don't need to write in Aura. Okay, they are pre-built for us. Okay, here you can say this is just one example, that is lightning input. Okay, so here what are the things? Okay, you can provide different type of inputs. Let's say date input. Okay, you must have seen this in your this org. Okay, if you go here, okay, let me go to detail page and let's find some date field here. Okay, let me go to accounts. I guess yeah, you can see expiration date is there. If you click on this, the calendar will be pop up. Okay, you can select your date, month and year. Okay, based on that. Okay, so this way you can configure date. Okay, so let's say you want to develop your custom application for this. Okay, so you just have to copy paste this code. Okay, readily available code, you just have to copy this from here. Okay, and configure or develop as per your requirement. Okay, so this is the basic date input, you can say. This is the date type, or date type. In date we have multiple options to configure. You can say this is the basic date. Whenever I click on this, you can select your date from here. Okay, some, if you want to predefine a date value. Okay, before the user selects any date, it should be predefined one date. Let's say it should show current date. Okay, always in that custom field it will going to show that today's date or current date. Okay, after that we have different formats you can use. Okay, placeholder also you can place here. Let's say you can provide any text here. Okay, let's say select the expiration date. Okay, select the activation date, any kind of a text you can write here. You can see here by default they have given type here. Okay, you can click on this, you are able to select the date. Okay, advanced input. Okay, this kind of, if you want to say make this field as a required. Okay, that is also possible. Okay, in your aura means visual, in visual force also it is possible, but in here also it is possible. Okay, by giving the required attribute. Okay, if you want to disable your field, that is also possible. Okay, and now let's say we want to give time also. Okay, so here are the time the component. Okay, date and time, you can select date from here, you can select time from here. Okay, this way you can configure. You don't have to write your own code, just go to this component library, just copy it from here. Okay, lightning input type should be date, time, name equal to, so we are going to see some of them. Okay, so when we will start with the actual coding, okay, at that time we are going to see this. Okay, see all of, means most of them. Okay, which are used in the real time. Okay, We have also one component that is email input. Okay, and in other programming languages, if you type any, if you give any email field, okay, you have to add the validation by yourself manually. You have to write validation where there is a at the rate or not, where is there is domain or not, okay, where the email is correct, is in correct format or not. Okay, but in Salesforce it is readily available for us. Okay, if you type any wrong email address, okay, it is all going to say some, throw some validation in the screen. Okay, so that kind of functionality is already built by Salesforce in Aura. Okay, you just have to use that. Okay, you can see all the code are available here. You just have to copy paste your code and configure based on your requirement. Okay, so this is just one component, that is input. In input you can see so many of things you can do with the input. Okay, so many of things you can validate also the input. Okay, if you want to validate anything, you can do also that. Okay, and these are the various variant. You just have to use this based on your requirement. Okay, what requirement you get, based on that you have to use those. Okay, now as I earlier said, event driven architecture means nothing but if you try to communicate between multiple components. Okay, I have given one example, right? Let's say I am modifying this rating, saving this. Okay, by after saving this, okay, there are some required field, I guess. Okay, let's say suppose I have this save this record. Okay, modified the rating, and I want to update the related contact. Okay, you can do that with the help of trigger also, but in Aura you can also do it without querying any data. Okay, without going in the backend. Okay, that kind of thing achieved by events. Okay, we will see the events, means what are the different type of events, and this is most important concept in Aura. Okay, whenever you go in the interview, one question will be 100% there, that is what are event. Okay, how do you have use the event in the Aura. Okay, that question will be 100% will be there. Okay, so while we are going to see this event, okay, you must practice that very well. Okay, from the input interview point of view. Okay, so event. Okay, so rich component ecosystem. Rich component ecosystem means what? These are modern component we have developed here. Okay, you can also use maps in your component here. Okay, also that rich component nothing but the means modern components or modern things. You can modern JavaScript components you can also use here. Okay, you can see file uploader we have. Okay, so we can also use this readily available component in your Aura. Okay, so this is why this is getting much popularity. Okay, means the UI is updated. Okay, the performance is updated. It is a bit optimized as compared to this VF page. Okay, so various advantages are there. That's why we use Aura. Okay, in interview, no one going to ask that. Tell me the different type of means how the it is different from VF pages. Okay, that will means ask basically some two three points which are main, why it is being used, why it is currently used instead of VF page. Okay, so that point we are going to cover, and we will also provide one notes. Okay, in the notes on every topic. Okay, we have added some questions there. Okay, if you prepare that, you are definitely going to crack those interviews. Okay, so faster developments is what means how the development is getting means quickly. Okay, let's say I want to develop one form. Okay, let's say I want to develop this account form. Okay, let's say these fields I want to add here. Okay, and if I go to visual force, okay, I have to manually add those field, and I have to manually add those field API names there, right? Let's say rating is there, rating field I have to add there. Okay, similarly I have to add all those fields, so due to that my development becomes slower. But in this Aura we have readily available one component, that is nothing but the record form. Let me search if it is available. Yeah, Aura. Okay, a record form is the readily available component. Through this all the fields are available for me. Okay, by default. You can see you just have to write this much of code and all this will be developed automatically for you. Okay, you don't have to write your means one field. Okay, I have to write this rating, account name one by one. You don't need to write that. This component will automatically add all the fields. Okay, but let's say you want to configure that. No, I don't want to show all these fields. I just want to fill some 4 to 5 fields. That can be done also using this. Okay, means this is configurable. Okay, you can show all the field, few field, or based on your requirement also you can add. So we will see lightning record component and all the security also handled by this. So you don't have to worry about the security, field level security. Okay, it is automatically applied field level security by this. Okay, so this way your development become faster. Okay, in Aura as compared to your Visual Force pages. Okay, this is how you use. You can see just 7 to 8 line of code is there and your whole component is getting ready through this. Okay, so this is how you use this out of the box components. Okay, for development or for faster development you can say. Okay, device aware and cross browser compatibility. Okay, so device aware means nothing but, okay, whenever you develop any application, let's say let me develop one application here. If I go to setup, okay, let's say app manager. Okay, if you go here and let's say click on new app. Okay, demo, let's say. Okay, here you can configure, means upload. You must be aware about this in your admin lectures. You must have attended this. Okay, next. Okay, now here is the part which I, is anyone on unmute, want to talk? Okay, so why I'm showing this app builder, new lightning app, because I have mentioned here device aware. So device aware means what? It should be responsible. It should be work in both. Means it should be workable in your phone, your desktop, or both. Okay. These are nothing but the form factor. Form factor means which device on which your application is going to run. Okay. So we can also configure that, and you don't have to means develop separate code for your mobile devices and separate code for desktop devices. So Salesforce has provided this platform. By just clicking on this radio buttons, your application is automatically configurable for specific devices. Let's say I have clicked on desktop, so it will be configured for desktop. Let's say I have clicked on phone, so it will be configured for my phone. Let's say I have clicked on this, so this will be configurable for both desktop as well as your phone. So you can use your application from your desktop as well as from your phone, and it is configurable by just clicking this few radio buttons over here. Okay, so this way you can customize your application. Okay, you don't have to explicitly develop mobile application separately and desktop application separately. Okay, so it will be work in both devices. Okay, cross browser compatibility. Cross browser compatibility means nothing but, okay, it, the lightning component framework will be working on Chrome, Firefox, okay, the Safari browser, okay, all the latest browser, Internet Explorer. Okay, but in real time, okay, in real time you should go with this Chrome browser. Okay, why? Because all the Salesforce functionality and Salesforce extensions, okay, are mostly means working with Chrome browser. Okay, means you will face no issues while working with the Chrome browser. But let's say you're working on Firefox, so you will face some means problem with the extensions. Okay, so for using extensions, we will also see those what kind of action extensions we will use. Okay, in while your development. Okay, so extensions makes your development and debugging any code makes easy. Okay, so let's say I will tell you some shortcuts. Okay, through the that extensions. Let's say I'm here and I want to go to the developer console. So how you will go to developer console? Setup. Okay, developer console. Click on this. Your developer console will be open. Okay, by 2 clicks you are going to developer console. But let's say I am using one shortcut. You can see automatically my developer console is opened here. by clicking some shortcuts, by using some shortcuts. Okay, so that kind of a thing we are going to see with these extensions. Okay, these are very much important in real time. Okay, you will definitely going to use this. Okay, this is not a part of class, but still I am going to explain this to you because it will going to help you in your when you are actually getting those project. Okay, so this is about the lightning component framework. So reusable component means I have explained already, means while developing we are going to use multiple components within same application. Like this one single application, this is one application, means this is one component, this is one component. So application is nothing but the collection of multiple components. Okay, that is nothing but your application. Okay, so in Aura we are going to just develop one module by module, and finally we are going to integrate into one application. So this way we develop application. Okay, so I have already explained framework include a set of pre-built component. Pre-built component means just like I have explained the date component, date time, okay, search, okay, that kind of a thing you can use. And another one important thing, that is lightning design system. Okay, this is very interesting, lightning design system. So let's say I have developed one application, let's say HTML, okay, and you want to add some border, background color, or let's say padding, margin. Okay, for that you have to write your own custom CSS, right? But in Salesforce you don't have to use that also. Okay, go here, SLDS, just type SLDS lightning design system, one website will be there. Okay, here some predefined CSS classes are given. Okay, that you can readily use in your Aura component. Okay, let's me go to, let's say, padding. Go here. Okay, you can see here example. Let's say I want to give some padding to the top. Okay, currently it is the padding is not given here. Okay, so this is a class. Okay, I will explain, okay, what this class is. Okay, in general if you go to CSS, okay, this is my CSS. Let's say if you want to give padding, how you do padding colon, let's say 10 pixel. Okay, this padding will be applied to all the borders. Okay, all the means wherever the border is, it will going to apply that. Okay, and you can also specify padding for particular side, let's say padding top. Okay, let's say 50 px, like this you can add. You can see padding is added over here. Okay, but in Salesforce they have already predefined some uh, padding classes, margin classes. Okay, you can see here currently no padding is given. So for that, write this SLDS P for padding. After that, position means which side, on which side you want to apply the padding for top, and amount of padding. So currently they have specified none. None means what? No padding will be added. Okay, now see the second example. SLDS padding top, and this is the amount of padding. Okay, extra small. So you can see just a little bit of space is added. If you go below, the padding can be increased. Okay, small, medium, large, extra large. Okay, extra large, you can see. So this way, whenever you develop your component in Aura, instead of custom CSS, always go for the SLDSS classes. Okay, because through this your application looks bit like the standard components like this. Okay, so if you apply some custom CSS like 10 px 20 px, so it is not going to symmetric. Okay, so always prefer standard SLDS classes while using this. Okay, so this is the about top. Let's say I want to give it to left side, so just replace the top with the left. Let's say right, so replace just left with the right. Okay, and let's say you want to apply the padding for all the place, all the side in one go. So at that time I don't have to use this left, right, top, bottom. Okay, so that time you should go with around. Okay, around means what? It is going to add all the padding in the around. Okay, you can see padding is added to top, bottom, left, right. Okay, let's say I want to only add the padding to the top and bottom. Okay, that time vertical. You have to use the keyword vertical. Okay, if you use vertical, only top and bottom padding will be added. Okay, let's say you want to add the padding to the left and right, not top and bottom. At that time you have to use horizontal. Okay, horizontal padding will be added, you can see. So this way you are going to use these SLDS classes. Okay, so this will be common, SLDS slash, this will be common across all the classes. Based on your, if you want to add padding, just place P. If you want to add margin, just add M. And your side, on which side you are going to add the padding, margin, anything, and this underscore your size. Okay, means what amount of size you want to add over there, right? So these are the standard available classes here. If you go below, they will have explained. Okay, so what amount of, they have also given the measurement. Okay, how, what is the measurement of this size? So these are the different sizes available for us. Okay, there are multiple utility are there, borders also there, you can explore this. Okay, I will share this link. Okay, if you get time you will explore this. Let me share that link on the group. Okay, you can see this is, I have explained little bit about LDS. So while developing we are going to use this. Okay, you can combine multiple components. This is I've already explained this. Okay, application is the part of combining multiple components to build a single component. Okay, so lightning component versus VF page. Okay, so this is the small difference. I have just given some highlighting parts. Okay, if you want to go in depth about this, I will share one link. Okay, blog link, so wherein you can go in depth about this. Okay, much more to understand how it is developed. Okay, so you can see lightning component is more on client side UI generation. Okay, the UI is built on client side, where in Visual Force the UI generated based on server side. Means I have explained one point while explaining this difference. When you go to classic, okay, whenever you click on any tab, okay, it always fires one query in the backend. So based on the backend result, it will build your UI. Okay, this is not the case with the this lightning component. Here even cache mechanism will be there. If the updated data is present in the cache, it will automatically fetch that data from there. Okay, second one is the API centric model, page centric model. You can see Visual Force page. Whenever you heard about this Visual Force page will automatically will be there. Okay, since it is page centric model, you have to develop pages for, here we talk about component, here we talk about pages. Okay, so here pages is nothing but just single component, and in here component is part of multiple files. Okay, there are 7 to 8 bundles. Okay, lightning bundles, we are going to see that. Okay, so bundle is collection of multiple files, sorry, component is collection of multiple files. Okay, but in page there is only one page will be there, and inside that page you have to write your code. But here is here multiple files are there, component there, controller is there, helper is there. Okay, multiple files are there, and specific code we should write in that particular file. Okay, this way your logic will be separated. Front end logic will be in different file, back end logic will be in different file, client side logic will be in different file. Okay, so this way we can separate it out using multiple files in our bundle, lightning component bundle. Okay, and this, you can say this is component based framework. This is MVC. MVC means what? Model means what? Your Visual Force. Okay, means model means what? Your data which is in sync with your background, this background SQL query. Let's say backend, at backend you have one queried data. Okay, let's say select ID comma name from account. Okay, so all the account will be fetched from there. So model, your model is what here? S objects. Okay, view is what? Your Visual Force. In the Visual Force the UI will be displayed, right? View is for presentation layer, you can say. Okay, this is not a theoretical class. Okay, these are, we in interview nobody is going to ask you about what is MOC PUMA, what is this. Okay, for just for information purpose I am explaining this. Okay, and C means what? Controller. Controllers means what? Your backend apex class. Okay, apex class which through which you have called one method. Okay, that is nothing but the controller. So here also we have component based framework. So as I have explained, there are some multiple files, 7 to 8 files are there. Okay. So one file will be for UI, one file will be for client side validation or client side logic, one file will be there for the backend logic. Okay. So this way, and this is based on JavaScript framework. Okay. So colon component is the tag which we use here. Okay. And this is the tag based language. Actually all the things going in the tag. Okay. Means if you have gone through this web page, multiple tags we use there. Okay. Different tags. So here is how this built. Actually whenever the Salesforce people start to develop this lighting component, so they have given importance for mobile devices first. Okay. Means currently all the means all the people are using mobiles. Okay. Mobile is the more focused area. Okay. Why social media is trending currently? Because all the people are on social media, that's why the advertising are are placed on that social media. Through that their product will be going to more sell. Okay. So that's why. So mobile first approach, as I have mentioned that support form factor, there are three options were there: desktop, mobile, desktop phone, or desktop or phone. Okay. So through that option you can choose for what kind of a device I should develop my application. Okay. And in here VFPage we don't have such kind of option to select for specific devices. Okay. That kind of thing. Okay. Now, so my domain, I guess I have okay, let me go through it again. So my domain, what is my domain basically? So in earlier Salesforce releases, whenever you develop any lightning component, okay, your my daemons should be enabled. Okay. You have to go to setup from here, this gear icon, go to setup, this window will be open, go to my domain. Okay. So it is if you are using your Salesforce or from 2018 or 19. Okay. Then your my domain might not be enabled. Okay. If you have created your org after 2019, then your org will be that my domain will be enabled by default. So my domain is nothing but you just have to uniquely identify your org by giving some domain name. Okay. So you can click edit over here, you can edit. Okay. And you have to check. Okay. If you give any name here, let's say my dev org. Okay. My dev org, any kind of org you can type your name in and check for availability. Okay. If it is available, then it will show available. So you can say cannot be is taken, cannot be used. Okay. It means it is already used, so you have to use unique name here. Okay. And domain suffix. Okay. So domain will be by default for developer edition, you just have to keep it as it is. Okay. And here your this domain will be shown. Okay. Just this is small step is there before developing any lightning component. Just verify whether your domain is enabled or not. If not enabled, will given one option here, add or configure your my domain. Okay. Through that you can create your my domain. And this setting we don't have to worry about this. Okay. Keep by default whichever option is selected. Okay. So my domain. Okay. So from tomorrow, we are going to see this my domain also explained. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to start with the actual this in-depth concepts about lightning. This is just a basic demo session. Okay. From tomorrow we are going to in-depth about this. I have separated out based on day wise on which day we are going to cover which topic. Okay. Like from setup, we will going to first complete the setup. After that we are going to start with the coding, and I will also explain how to code with the developer console, how to code with the VS code also. Currently whenever you join any company, okay, earlier developer console was used to develop that aura component, but now VS code is used. Okay. Because through this you are going to commit your code also, right? So I am explaining all the sessions with the VS code only. Okay. First 2-3 lecture we are going to see with the developer console also. After that we will see with the VS code. Okay. So anyone have any doubts or anything is not cleared until now? he or she could speak here. Anyone? Or any other things I should means also cover in the lectures? You can also tell me that. I am happy to share that things. Okay. Anyone respond? कोई तो बोलो. Hello. I'm audible, right?
Yes, audible, sir.
Yeah. So yes.
आपण जो क्लासिक वाला पोर्शन आहे तर तो डेव्हलप करण्यासाठी व्हिज्युअल फोर्स यूज केलेला आहे.
Correct.
आणि जो लाइटनिंगचा पार्ट आहे तो सगळा ऑरा कॉम्पोनंटनी डेव्हलप केलेला आहे.
Yes, correct.
आणि सर मग हे ऑरा कॉम्पोनंट मध्ये आपण हे लाइटनिंगचे पण कॉम्पोनंट यूज करतो, तर म्हणजे ऑरा कॉम्पोनंटचा पार्ट आहे लाइटनिंग कॉम्पोनंट की काय आहे?
लाइटनिंग कॉम्पोनंट बेस्ड ऑन ऑरा फ्रेमवर्क आहे. ठीक आहे. ऑरा फ्रेमवर्क आहे त्याच्याच वरती बेस्ड आहे लाइटनिंग कॉम्पोनंट. तर कधी पण तुम्ही जेडी वगैरे बघितला. ठीक आहे. सो लेट मी एक्सप्लेन इंग्लिश सो ऑल ऑफ यू कॅन अंडरस्टँड. So whenever if you see the job description of any interview or any Salesforce developer post, you will see Aura / Lightning component, because Aura and almost you can say these are same almost, but Aura is developed open source and based on that Salesforce component is developed. Okay, so whenever I tell in the class that this is Aura component, this is Lightning you can treat it as the same. Okay, so not much difference in that. So both are means same only. This is one is based on that, some extra feature in Lightning component. Okay, let me show you the Aura. Okay, how Aura framework looks like. So this is the Aura framework actually. Let me see if I can open that link. So here is not the link. There is one specific link for the Aura, but it is actually removed by the Salesforce people. Let me check if it is available. This is just again, you can see these are the Aura component actually. I will share one link like this Salesforce website. There is one link for the Aura document also, wherein the documentation explained means how this is used. Okay, so now focus more on this lightning component. Okay, in interview they were going to focus much more on lightning component. You can say, or I have used to separate it out, because in LWC lightning web component, lightning component, there are multiple keywords. Okay, so Aura / lightning components are same. LWC is a bit different from them. Okay, any other doubts? And whenever we take our classes, at the end of our class we will spend 5 to 10 minutes for doubt discussion. Okay, if you haven't understood anything, okay, so at last 5 to 10 minutes we will discuss that part. Okay, if some of you might not understand anything, okay, I will try to repeat that with more sophisticated way, or with much more example. Okay, practical example like that. Okay, everyone is comfortable with English, right?
Yes.
Okay, if some of you not able to understand English, I will also explain in Hindi also. Okay, no issues. Our focus is to understand Aura. Okay, we are not here for communication purpose. Okay, we have to understand the concepts. Okay, so I will explain in between Hindi also, so no worry about that. Okay. Okay, then I will always start the lecture with 9 sharp. Okay, 9 to 9:05. Between that I will start with the lecture. Okay, we will wait for 2-3 minutes. After that at 9:05 we will going to start our lecture. Okay, let me stop the recording here. So thank you for joining the session. We will start with the lecture from tomorrow. Day first will be there from tomorrow onwards. Okay, so meet you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Okay, bye bye, thank you.